Excuse me. So in the upper left corner for the red Zerd, we have BlueStar throwing out the U2 to Natsuaga, the blue Zerds. Good luck, have fun. Already action-packed. Nothing going on from the start. There is no sits pool action going on. We have, so we will speed this up from the start rather. Natsuaga being very, very polite. Apparently neither of them having good nights, but we do have drones coming up for both players. Let's see if we see the 15 pool or the 15 hatch from either. We do have the 15 hatch coming from Natsuaga. The reds are doing the same, slightly bit behind. Talking about Sky Toss, talking about Viper Swarm Infester. I know Sky Toss is very hard to play against, and I haven't tried it too much myself, being a Protoss player. But seeing it on streams and in games, I do see that it must be very hard to fight for the Zerd. Spore Crawlers, though, very, very strong, as well as those Vipers pulling Void Rays and Tempest into those Spore Crawlers, as well as Hydralisk. We do have the pool going down for both players. Slightly ahead is the blue Zerd with that gas as well. It's going to get that speed faster than red, maybe opening up some form of timings for the blue Zerd to hit red. After that, we don't have too much else going on. The Overlords have crossed, given them their high fives, going to each other's natural. You can work into the main base for a time to see those pool timings and gas timings because there is no chance of a queen this early on, but neither of them go straight for the main base. We do have more Overlords just scanning the map. You can have a lot of free map vision in ZVZ with those, putting them around choke points or possible paths for Zerglings to try to run by into your base. Very helpful to have those out. Both players getting queens at main and natural bases. More drones coming out. Speed started for blue. That is ahead due to his gas. Red still has to get a little bit more. Blue does start the Baneley Nest as well, so he is ahead in that gas count, allowing him to do these things and opening up a very small window where he will be ahead with that speed, allowing him to get those Ling surrounds a lot faster than red will be able to. The Baneley Nest will also help running those in and being helpful on the defense if Lings do get into blue's base. We will see if red throws down a Baneley Nest rather soon. It is generally expected, especially at the natural here, between the queen would be in between the Baneley Nest and the hatchery. That's where I normally see it in streams and such. I am not a very strong Zerd player though, so maybe that's just a thing I see certain streamers do. I tend to copy it just because I don't know what I'm doing. But we do see 16 lanes coming up for blue. He's going to hit that speed timing, probably with some Banelings, going to try to do as much damage as possible. Only drones coming out from the red Zerd. As well as another queen to use for creep spread and defense. The second gas being taken from the red Zerd, very important in a ZVZ matchup. He can afford a lot more and start banking that up for possible Mutalisk or Infestors. The speed for red just now finishing up here in a few seconds, but he has no Lings to use that metabolic boost. We see quite a few moving across the map, about 22 I believe. I missed one in that click. The second gas going down for blue, but this layer already started for both players, slightly ahead for blue. Moving probably towards that Spire tech as we see in most CVZs. The queen going down here, a lot of damage is going to be done. This extractor going to be taken out and possibly the natural base if, well, he just pulls away from it. That could have been a free hatchery for the blue Zerd. 12 lanes are in production as well as Overlord speed for red. That might have been a misclick on that Overlord speed. We shall see. 4 Banelings for blue will do quite a bit of damage unless red can pit them off with the 1 lane when you send them in. These blue Zerglings though are going to do a little bit of skirmish. Oh, those Banelings having really good connects. That first one on the other Zerglings taking out a lot. The other one just suiciding into the hatchery. That's not going to do a whole bunch. This Baneling running up here, going to get 1 or 2 Zergling kills. That gets them both. And the Spire also started for the blue Zerg. Many more Zerglings for red. He's going to try to defend this natural. He does catch some of these lanes. The other ones will be running out. Blue is ahead by about 10 supply, making a couple more lanes for defense. He knows that a counterattack might be coming, especially if a Baneling Nest was thrown down. He did not get too far into the main with that one Baneling, though, so he does not know what's back here. He did see the Spire, however, or the Lair, rather, so he knows that some tech is possible, but he did a decent amount of damage, and he knows that these geysers are not taken, allowing him to know or feel comfortable in the fact that his Muta count will be quite higher for some time if red does in fact go into those Mutalisks. Baneling Nest was thrown down for red though, and a lot of lanes are at the blue Zerd's base. He might be moving in with this rather soon, but he has to watch out for blue's own Banelings. Those going out in front, trying to send a few lanes to snipe those out, but that's not going to happen this time. This will be a bit of a skirmish back and forth. Those Banelings getting ever so close, but still not connecting. He's not microing these though. That's going to be very, very deadly, possibly. These Banelings have overextended, still getting about 4 lanes with one of them. Spire 4 blue is finally up. He has enough for about 3 Mutalisks. Not a whole bunch, but enough to get started. This is because he's only just now taking these geysers. Usually want to take those around the time you start your lair, I do believe. He is making a lot of lanes, though, in some form of an attack. The drone count shows that blue is ahead by about 7. Not too big of a lead, but still substantial enough if it continues for quite some time. The infestation pit going down for red, trying to get to either that hive tech or those infestors, just to lock down the Mutalist as well as the Zerglings if these attacks continue. He has to watch out for these Banelings. If they connect, that will do a lot of damage, and there's a lot of lanes right there. One of them does blow up quite a few. These Banelings trading, this Queen only having 4 health left, but it looks like it is just about to go down in about 1 Zergling hit. A lot of lanes being made by red. Hopefully he will be able to defend this Baneling Nest in time. A lot of lanes being pulled off. 5 Mutalisks in production for blue, and the third base also going down. He is seemingly quite far ahead. No more supply though. He does need to get out some more Overlords. He is blocked. Only Banelings and a couple of lanes being made for the red Zerg, as well as another Queen at this natural to get those injets up. He might want to just make a third Queen as well. He does not know that the Spire is on the way, I do not believe. He does see it with this Overlord and that Overlord speed, but he is not very well prepared for this at all. A Baneling here for defense. It is now gone, only taking out 4 Zerglings when there's quite a few left. These lanes being picked off as well as more of them possibly if he takes this engagement. There's definitely more blue Zerglings, so he does have to run away. Blue is in quite the commanding lead. Another Queen, or no, that was the same Queen being taken out as soon as it spawns. This Spine Crawler also being taken out. Only 1 Spore defending these drones from the incoming Mutalist that we will see shortly. I do not know where those are. They are, just sitting in the main base. Not the most productive location for those. But the drones now attacking the Zerglings. See, that is not a fight you ever want to take. It shows desperation for the red Zerg. He's down to 30 supply. Blue Zerg is at 85. And he's calling himself dumb. He did make a few mistakes here. Yes, he did. I wouldn't say overdrone technically. He didn't have any form of defense. His Baneling Nest was late. His gas was late. It was more him just not building enough units and teching too far. He got a pretty early layer for the build that he was going. He did get that second gas earlier though. He just never was able to use that, getting the upgrade instead of actually making infestors. And he did not have that map awareness. I definitely agree with that. With a few infestors, though, if he was just trying for some last stand over here, he could do a little bit of damage. The Blue Zerg, however, is on 3 bases. It looks like he is going to take this, but miracles can happen. More Mutalists are on the way to support these ones, I do believe. Yes, they are right here. No upgrades from either player. Blue probably doesn't feel the need to, and red is in no position to get them, getting both a Hydrogen and a Nidus network on top of this, and rebuilding his Baneling Nest. Quite the investment, but he did have quite a bit of money. He just doesn't have any to use the rest of his larvae. More drones being made, even though he was complaining about over-droning. It's a little bit of a confusion in the logical process, I'm going to say. More Spore Crawlers going down for red, however, and he will use those to defend against the Mutalist, but 3 bases worth of Mutalist will definitely beat 1 base worth of Spore Crawlers, if enough time is given. The Nidus network coming out, I don't know where he's going to put that or what he plans on doing with it. A few Mutalists are caught out by a fungal, but only 1 goes down. The units lost tab showing that red is down by about 1,500 resources in terms of units lost, but even more so in terms of units. He is down to 21 drones compared to 58 drones across 3 bases. The Nidus network was being made, I do so believe. Yes, here it is in the main base, but it is seen by these Mutalisks, and the only thing in there will be a couple of investors, I do believe. And once those are seen, Blue could easily move into the main, or just kill those with the Mutalisk. A few lanes coming out first. Actually, he's moving about just about every single thing besides drones into this Nidus network. And a lot of these Mutalisks being cleaned up, but Banelings and Zerglings are pretty good against Hydralisk, I heard. They clean up the rest of the army, and that's going to be that. He has no more attacking units, and instead of giving the GG, he does LOL and quit. He seemed pretty well-mannered about the whole thing, though. He just needed to prepare better for those early attacks. He got his gas later, his Baneling nest later, his speed later. Everything was just later, and those timings do hurt in a mirror matchup, definitely, more so than in a TVZ or a PVZ. But that was a good game for Natsuaga. He hit those timings pretty well, not giving any lack of or any missed timings with those early Zerglings. He knew that he got his speed relatively quickly, and he did scout the lack of gas. So he knew what he was fighting and reacted appropriately. So good game for him, and thank you for the replay.